Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. The Manga Man here, and today we're talking about solo leveling. I appreciate it's probably been about 4 weeks since I made a solo leveling video, and therefore I've got 4 chapters to catch up on. And admittingly, some of the inconsistency is work related, which can't be helped because deadlines take priority, and then some things just crop up in life which can't be helped. But sometimes I think my energy levels don't necessarily help, and I guess it's a testament to some of the poor choices in my lifestyle. The lockdown hasn't really helped. I've kind of got the habit of working out, and I am endeavouring to change that. I'm signing up to a gym and hopefully starting to improve some of the choices I do around my diet and my training to hopefully build up my energy again and hopefully, where possible, be more consistent. But enough about that. Without further ado, let's get into this review. As always, timestamps will be below for the points that you find important. So let's move on and catch up in this review. So, because it's been a while, I'm basically going to cover these 4 chapters in one shot. Because ultimately there's so much content, it would take me a while to cover everything, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet and kind of cover the basic stuff and little things I want to acknowledge and talk about. So first of all, the power gap. So Ashborn, the Shadow Monarch, now son Jin Woo, has released his full power, which caused the Beast Monarch to run away, right? To the point where he's not afraid to even turn his back into the Frost Monarch. Frost Monarch jumps at the chance, knowing he's probably going to die, but he's going to do some damage on his way out. Commendable, yeah, at the same time, sneaky and conniving. Obviously nothing happens because the literal spear just bends as soon as Sun Jin opens his hand. But ultimately he goes and finds across the whole world the Beast Monarch, teleports to him, defeats him in less than 5 attacks, comes back and basically deals the Frost Monarch a new one and kills him as well. So when you think about the balance of things, including the Shadow Monarch, there's 9 monarchs, right? Excluding him, there's 8. We already knew Baran died way back when, so he wasn't involved. We already knew about Legia or Regi, depending on translation, as he was caught by the rulers, and he got dealt with. Now Koresha's got killed. We now know that the Frost Monarch's dead, and we now know that the Beast Monarch is dead. So of the original 8, 5 are dead. They're done, they're dusted. They might come back, probably not, story-wise. So when you think about it from that point of view, realistically, there's only the Transformation Monarch, which is Yagamo, Iron Body, which is the humanoid-looking one, and then the main guy, the Dragon King, and Antares. So when you think about it from that point of view, it really tells you, as far as a storytelling point of view, the big battle is coming up, and then we will see after that, what happens. Now, with that being the case, him being introduced in the background in the shadow saying, don't do anything, it's my turn, to make my move against the Shadow Monarch. It shows it's really building up to that. Now, the other elements that I found interesting as I was reading them on a weekly basis, because I still read them, it's just a case that I've not made the video. When we got the whole thing with his father, that made a lot of sense to me, because he literally wasn't around. He was there, but he wasn't there. So he was watching from afar, and it's because his goal was to kill the monarch. It turned out to be his son, and then he decided to protect the monarch with the decision of the rulers. And him essentially being a vessel but not having a strong enough body to really maintain the power speaks to, essentially him not being strong enough, because he was, I believe, an A-class hunter before, so his body just wasn't up to scratch. So really he needed a stronger body, someone like an S-class, someone like a national level person, someone in the top 10 to really hold that power. It was a sad thing, but the hope with the way that conversation went is the fact that that chalice that can reverse time, which has been used multiple times before to restore the earth, may be an item that possibly can be used to help with this. I don't know how it's going to be used, but because it's been mentioned, it's something to bear in mind. And then when the event happened and then that gate opened and loads of people came out, and I was like, oh, this isn't good. Is that the Dragon King's crew? And it turning out to be the Shadow Monarch's crew was really interesting because I'd been told about a strong character that was going to join the start, and his name is going to start with B. And I was like, who's that going to be? And it turned out to be the big dude, and that big dude is the Grand Marshal. He's basically stronger than anything that Sun Jin Woo had before. That whole thing was interesting, but it really was more to emphasize how strong this dude is, and the fact that it's been mentioned before about Ignis and Beru we've seen to be powerful. Now they're restored, they're even more powerful. I think Beru's probably even enhanced at this point. Further shows how strong this character is. And then there's the whole panels and chapters where they're like, oh, I want to be by your side. It was cute, and I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of cute things with it. He's like a little puppy, and he goes, "Oh, you can be on my left hand side, and Ignis, you can be behind me." And then like the dragons and the mage are like fighting over who's more powerful, but in a cheap way. It was all funny. So I like that element of solo leveling where they can have these serious like life threatening moments, but these funny moments as well. It's nice. It's cool. I like the fact that the Luji gang or Zhu gang, the Chinese national hunter, acknowledges that he's weaker than Sun Jin Woo, and we ultimately know he's the best now. And then the world's worrying, and essentially everyone's trying to speak to Sun Jin Woo, and we see that it ends with this this kind of an announcement where people are beginning to know about this war that's going to happen. I also like the fact that Sun Jin Woo's kind of made a plan for if something goes wrong, because he truly understands, based on Ashbourne's memory, how terrifying the Dragon King is. So he's going to be a major obstacle where even he feels that potentially something could go wrong. So him having someone there just in case to help Sun Jin Woo's family is good, and the fact that it happens to be Jin O's father, who will now treat Jin Woo better, as well as look after Sun Jin Woo's family, because essentially he saved his life, is all good and dandy. All this is really just the calm before the storm, before the craziness that happens when the Dragon King truly does arrive. The gates are open, there's 8 of them all over the world. There's supposedly 8 armies coming, but are there going to be 8 rejuvenated monarchs? I think not. There's probably going to be 3. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next. It's all crazy. I'll be there hopefully next week with everybody else. But until then, see you next time. Peace.